Now, very difficult. So, let us think and how we can protect our Mother Earth. So now I would like to invite John. You from Australia, from kangaroo country. So please start your talk. Today we have Lama Yi and Minuk from USA. He also will join with us. So John.
John không có chân dung thưa thầy. John
không có hả?
Yeah.
Now then we invite Minh Đức Độ, please. Minh Đức Độ.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm honored to be here. What I have told my students when I teach Aikido. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. What I have told my students is that from here on up, from our neck on up, we are Buddha nature. We are awareness, calm, compassion. We have this sense of empathy. We can do unto others as we would like for others to do to us. We can surrender to the all, to the entire situation that we are in. We can surrender to the world and act with the all in that moment in authentic power. From here on down, we're physical creatures. Buddha nature is, it comes forth from this physical creature, from our dog nature. Our dog nature is all sex and violence. And sex is very good. It's passionate love for building a family. It's very life-affirming. Violence is also very good. It's very handy. It's very good exercise to be in judo, karate, boxing, football, soccer. It's good for everyone. But the problem comes when our dog nature kind of gets up into our head and steals God nature. You know how dogs are. They're very afraid of looking bad. Their dogs don't want to be punished. They don't want to lose their rewards. They want to make sure they get their food. They want to be petted. So when dog nature gets up into our heads, it can steal our awareness. Suddenly, we're no longer compassionate and calm. We're no longer acting in accordance with everything. Now we just are afraid of looking bad. Here comes the root of all evil. I'm afraid of looking bad, and I'm therefore afraid with other people who make me look bad. In fact, I get angry with other people who look different from me and challenge who I am. Other people who take away my what makes me look good in a social setting, the customs that I'm used to. Now I tend to rage at other people, immigrants, people who look different from me, people with different religions. I become greedy to look better. I want more money, a bigger house, a faster car. I become greedy for better feelings. I want better drugs to make me feel good. So I go from fear to anger to greed. Greed, the bottom is how we're making the earth too hot. We're mining everything we can take out of the earth, and we no longer care about the all anymore, the great Mother Earth. We just want to use it for our immediate profit and our immediate sense of feeling good and looking good. We want to take everything we can and stack it up into a really big pile so that, yeah, baby, look at my stuff. I'm better than you are. I'm free from you. I'm safe from you. At some point, God gets involved in this. Buddha nature gets involved in this, and we start feeling guilty. We think, oh man, look at all the horrible things I've done to the people around me. Look at the earth. And now suddenly I'm at war with myself. I have done evil. And now I feel guilty about the evil that I've done. I begin to despair. I'm depressed now. I look at all the bad things I've done to my family, my own children, the people who love me. I feel guilty about that. I'm depressed about that. And I'm confused. Oh, what a mess I'm in now. Look at the awful things I've done. And now I go back to the beginning. Now I'm afraid all over again. I'm afraid people will find out how evil I am. I'm afraid people will find out all the ways that I've been lying and manipulating. So it's a circle. The dog is running around in a circle, stealing information, stealing energy from my Buddha nature. And this is a nightmare. This is ego. Ego is the same thing as right-wing politics, just feeding the rich. Let me be more rich. Let me have more money. Let me have more stuff. Let me make a bigger pile of rocks. Ego and right wing are one thing. The Buddha talked with us about all this. He said, you know, there's a way to get through it. First of all, just face the nightmare that's inside. Face the suffering. Look at it directly. When you look at it, that's a new energy. That stops the dog from running around. When you're looking at the dog, being afraid, angry, greedy, guilty, despaired, and confused, when you look at that, that's a new energy. Second of all, be loving, accept, be calm, breathe right through that nightmare that's inside of you. The nightmare that's everywhere. Ego is everywhere in human culture. So breathe right through that. You can't be surprised by it. You can't be living in a violent space if you're breathing through that violent ego that you see everywhere. Float. Don't make yourself do what you're doing. Don't make a big list of things you have to do and then pound your way through it. That's too much adrenaline all over again. That's the dog just trying to look good. Allow the all to happen. We are just waves on an ocean of life. Allow the key energy, the life energy to happen. Float in an aware and loving way. Let time pass. Let Buddha nature do it. Let the all be. So, thank you guys very much for being patient and listening to me. That's all I have to say. I'm truly honored to be here, believe me.
Thank you, Benedicto. I appreciate your contribution to the topic. It's very wonderful. Your wife is here with us this week in Rimashegen. We enjoy her time here very much. We had a very successful weekend event with Peace Seminar and also the Bulan Gratitude Festival. So we appreciate her being here. And we wish that you were here too, but I know you have some medical situations, and I appreciate it. But maybe next time.
Maybe next time. I really would love to be there. They made me take 2 years of German in college, and I've never been to Germany. What is wrong with that?
Next time, we gotta brush your German up. Brush up
next
your German.
time.
Okay, well, appreciate your contribution. You Phước Do, you raise your hand. Would you like to share a few words on this topic of climate change?
Yes, thank you to invite me to share this topic. So now let's break down its topics. First, the causes of storm. Meteorological factor, storm including thunderstorm, hurricanes, and tornadoes are primarily caused by atmospheric conditions. For example, thunderstorm form when warm moist air rises and cools, leading to condensation and releases the little of heat, which fuels storm development. Geography feature of snow is the local geography, such as mountains or bodies of water, such as can influence storm formation and intensities. For example, hurricanes typically form over warm ocean water where there is sufficient heat and moisture. Second, causes of flows. Heavy rainfalls is one example of flows. Excessive rains from storms or floodgates weather system can overwhelm the drainage system and river bank, leading to flooding. And snow melt in spring or early summer, melting of snow can lead to increased water flows into river and stream, causes them to overflow. Third is storm surges. Coastal areas can experience flooding due to storm surges, where strong winds and storm pushes their water into land. Number 3 is causes of hazards. Socio-economic factors. Economic inequality, lack of resources, and competition and can foster resentment and hatred between different of groups. Culture and historical conflicts. Historical grievances and cultural difference can contribute to ongoing hatred and conflicts. Number 4, causes of climate changes. Greenhouse gas emissions is that human activity, particularly the burning of fossil fuels like coal, oil, and natural gases, release greenhouse gases such as carbon dioxide and methane onto the atmosphere. These gases trap heat and lead to global warming. Deforestation is cutting down forests. Cutting down forests reduces the planet's capacity of absorb CO2, exacerbating the greenhouse effects. Each of these phenomena has complete causes and effects, often interrelated with one of another. For instance, climate change can increase the frequency and severity of storm and fall, while socio-economic factors can influence the rate of hatred and conflicts. That is my sharing. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Yefudo. Thank you for your contribution. Very good that you've detailed your knowledge on this topic. So I appreciate you taking the time. Any other speakers? Tan Pham, would you like to share a few words on this?
Yeah, good morning. Yeah, thank you for letting me share. So I guess the topic today, we talked about the cause of storm, flood, hectares, and climate change. it's just, like after looking at like the common root of this problem is all caused from human behaviors, right? But like we all contribute to it, a little, a lot, I guess, based on our behaviors. Like the three things that I think is causes like the excess consumption, overuse of resource, environmental exploitation, contribute to natural disaster and climate change, can lead to conflicts over resources. Example that overusing of clothing and using a single-use plastic bags and bottle packaging, I think that's cost to the environment as well. So I think one of the solutions that we can do is just using our resources, practice recycling and reduce waste. Just use what we need, not use what excessively. And then practice on the conservation. Like using the recycle, and then energy efficiency products, reducing waste. I think that will lessen to the impact to the environment. I think the second thing is like self-interest. We're pursuing a lot of personal gains and powers, often drive conflicts and harm the environment. I guess like you can look at another corporates, greed leading to pollutants. Company, a lot of company they can cut corners. They just look at the benefit only, the profit. So they may not think about the pollutant that they gonna discharge. They can discharge the pollutant to the atmosphere or to the water, the river, or water body like rivers close by. So damage the environment. So I guess self-interest. People just think about their interest for their profit over the environment. What we can do, trying to promote fairness, support the policy to make sure that equity resources, and then distribute encourage peace and negotiations to resolve the conflicts. I think that's another solution that I can think to at least help in with the self-interest. I guess like the third point I want to share is lack of empathy. Not understanding and caring about others' needs and environments can lead to hatred, conflicts, and environmental damage. We can educate ourselves and others about different environment issue to build empathy and then reduce prejudice. Because typically we if they're saying if we don't understand certain things, we tend to just ignore it, and it's because due to lack of understanding, we just not really accept it. The one with acceptance, come with understanding. So engaging community activities that promote inclusive environment stewardship. I think just the one that we are encouraging with the peace and happiness seminar here, trying to encourage everyone, educate everyone about, like understanding better of how ourselves and other people. Also, what we can do as individually, society, it's collective effort to change our human behaviors. I think, that's like the main cause of it. So that's what I want to share. That's just my idea. And then, yeah, thank you for letting me say my ideas, and thank you all for host this seminar and promoting peace and happiness. Thank you.
Thank you, Thanh. Thank you for sharing. We have a young friend with us who also participates in the peace seminar. She's from France.
Hello.
Yeah. What's your name?
My name is Lang.
Lang.
Yes, and I'm a senior high school student in France. I just finished high school this year.
Wonderful. So share us a few, your ideas and thinking on causes of climate change, you know, what we can do to do our part, you know, towards improving the environment. Just a few words.
Well, concerning the United States or the world in general?
Just in general, whatever it comes in your heart.
Well, environment at my school in France, we actually talk about it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we don't actually, since I'm mostly learning majoring in literary subjects, we don't delve deeper into the scientific causes of climate change, but it is a subject that is becoming more and more popular. And for example, this year, to candidate for some schools, I had the option to write an essay about climate change and what kind of environments I should choose to preserve if I had the opportunity. So I think it's very important to keep talking about environment and its causes, but also its consequences on the world, mostly in politics. It's very important in politics and also in social matters, since, well, the world is full of inequalities, but climate change only worsens equalities around the world, since it worsens natural catastrophe that had always been there. And environment is becoming much more of a pressing issue, because in the next years it's going to cause forced migration for millions of people, and it's pretty for millions of people to. I think climate change is going to affect everyone one way or another, whether that be your country is directly impacted by natural catastrophe, or your country is subject to change within the population because people from other countries impacted by climate change have to move to your own country. For example, yeah, well, so it's definitely going to be a big issue. It's already
what can we do?
issue.
What can we do, each of us, to help improve the situation, in your opinion?
What can we do? Well, it's a bit sad to say, but I think that it's nice. It's very good to do smaller steps for yourselves and just use the environment, not use, but be aware of your actions on nature and how you envision nature in general. It's not just something to exploit, and it's very important to be aware that it's not something that is endless. We're going to be on a shortage of a lot of things very, very soon. But so it's nice to recycle things, to use public transport or to walk.
Yes.
And it's also nice to just talk with other people about climate change. Well, I think in France there aren't many people who aren't aware of climate change. There are people who we call climato-sceptic, but it's not a big movement or anything. And I think it's important to push the government to pass bills about environment protection and preservation. Well, I think in the United States, the President Donald Trump actually withdrew from the Paris Act, Paris Accord, les Accords de Paris, signed in 2015. But it was a good initiative from the cities of, is it a city? The city of New York. I think New York decided to keep up with the Paris Accord anyway. And I think it's good not only take country take and hold countries accountable, but also smaller organisms such as cities or even regions. It's important to do your one step, but I think it's very important to, yes, also not to only hold accountable countries and states, but also big enterprises, if possible. It's not very possible on my scale, but yes, there are more and more important agents on the international community. Sometimes big shots are more influential than heads of countries, such as, well,
Okay.
what else?
All right. Well, thank you. You did well. You did well. It's good. It's good to practice, and it's good to share. I'll say this though: it's really hard to really assess any international geopolitical situation. There's a lot of internal reasons for all this geopolitical dynamics. So it's more to the story. Guruji, would you like to say a few things, just a little bit on what your thoughts about the changing in climate and what we can do to help improve the situation?
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, I have that much knowledge about that, but I will just share for a little bit for my idea and my things.
Sure.
So, yeah, of course, everyone knows nowadays, everywhere there's a lot of climate change. Everyone knows that, but everyone pointing in the climate change, but no one, I think, no one to find to end up there the cause. Because this is the world is created by the 4 elements: fire, water, air, space, and the 4 elements. When they created in the 4 elements by the this and the world, so that is in motherlands, then that motherlands and people using and misunderstanding, overusing, it means overusing. That way it will be in the climate changing in a lot. People destroyed and a lot of nature. They always try to make something new and something like fancy, something overblooming in their mind, always looking for that. We are just in the small society. We're just talking about that, but that kind of things, someone's doing that on their self. But all people following that the way, that reasons, that guy, that person's always creating and a lot of things day by day. That way, and the 4 elements, not and the matchings, not the stable in the together. That way, it will be happening for the climate change in all over the world.
Yeah. Understand.
Yeah. That's why we try to. It means requires, or it means we will try to end that house for that kind of who is creating that. Of course, we all need it and that 4 elements. Without that, we can't survive in this our life. Not only you and not only me, all these things. But when they in the using misunderstanding and the 4 elements, then it will be that's not matching for them. They will be changed from that way. Is there's the 4 elements is the perfect, there's and nature is their nature, balance, and it will be maybe it will be
But
good
because
for
there's an imbalance. Right
imbalance because someone's there perfect for doing something so lot. And that lot, that fancy things, all people go to in following for that way. Without we following, they cannot. Definitely they cannot. That way, it will be we are misusing in our land. That way, it will be changing. This is my just in the this is my misunderstandings, misthinkings. But I don't know. I have in that kind of things, and that I did the idea.
Okay, great. Thank you, Guruji, for sharing. Thank you. Anyone on the Zoom call want to say any few words on this? Anyone else? If not, then I'll just kind of conclude with my inputs on this topic. And I think for me, it's observing Guruji, Thầy Huyền Diệu, and what I learned most from him in regards to this topic is our consumption habits. I think it comes down to personal responsibilities and consumption habits. And I'll just share with you a few stories from Thầy Huyền Diệu, our master, that imprint in my memory, in my mind of how he is as a person. He walks the walks, he doesn't just talks the talks. You know, for example, and there are many stories, but maybe I'll share with maybe 3, 4, 5 stories. You know, we were walking, you know, in a hall, and he saw the light on in an empty room. Then he reminded me, son, go in there and turn off the light. He doesn't have to, but that reminder means a lot to me. I was with him in a room. We walked out together. I forgot I left the light on. We went out, we came back, son, go back inside and turn off that light. Yes, thank you, Guruji, for reminding me. Guruji wears the same robe, the monk robe, for the past 30 years. And it's the same one that he wasn't more than that. I think it's 50 years. No, maybe like 30 or 40 years, whatever it is. It's the same robe for the most part. He doesn't purchase new clothing. I see him wear practically the similar outfits week to week. And he washes his own clothes. He hangs his clothes very peacefully. And he doesn't consume and buy new clothes. And I appreciate that because I think, you know, today's economy thrives on consumption and new products, materials. And that's driving all of this, you know, global pollution situation. Guruji walks the walk of wearing same outfits, you know, week to week, and he washes his own clothes and just hang them. Doesn't use, you know, energy dryer to dry them, and he just hangs them. Oh, again, I'm just sharing some stories of how he walks the walks in terms of, you know, promoting environmental issues, but he's just not talking to talk. He actually walks it. Another example is, you know, when we eat, you know, like chips, or we eat bag of noodles, you know, when we have a group setting, we throw away that plastic noodle or plastic bag of the chip. When we make the noodle for Guruji, he actually saves those bags of noodles and or chips. He washes them, and then he's still reusable because, you know, those are plastic going to the trash. It will go to the ocean. Will go into, you know, for the environment. He actually saves them. He washes them, and he finds other uses for it. For example, he would put, you know, some coins in there. He would use that as a bag for coins or for miscellaneous things. Just reusing them instead of throwing them away. It's another interesting or amazing, I think, way to reuse, the plastic instead of just throwing it away. Another example is, for example, when we sometimes offer him yogurt. You know how yogurt comes in the little small plastic, cup, plastic cup. And so after you finish the cup, you just throw away the yogurt cup. Guruji saves the yogurt cup. What does he washes them? And then the yogurt cup, what he would do is he would then grow a plant. He would put some dirt in, he would put a seed in, and then he would grow a plant, and he would, basically use that to give to some of his students a plant. So instead of throwing away the yogurt cup, he reuses the cup to put in a plant and give a plant to his students. So I'm just sharing with you guys, some stories that I observed from Guruji in his practice, in the way he lives, in his daily habits, in his action towards climate change or environmental matters. His action is almost like inaction, meaning it's less consumption. Where the world right now is more consumption, Guruji is less consumption. And I think that's a really valuable lesson, and that's what I learned most, from it. I just want to share those stories with you, because I think those are simple action that we all can do day to day to help the environment. And with that, I think we have no other speakers, on the Zoom. We appreciate everyone calling in, and namaste, and we will reconvene next week. Thank you for joining us on this wonderful topic on climate change and environment. Namaste. Thank you.
Record.